Now, today's topic is one that men need every day. Every day, there's a group of men who are coming out of situations where they pretty much ruined their lives to some extent because of the bad choices they made. And the only way to recover from these decisions and the fallout from these decisions and choices, the consequences and repercussions, if you will, is to understand how you got there in the first place. You understand? You have to understand how you became the type of man who would end up in a situation like that. How you became the type of man who ended up in a marriage with a woman who never loved you in the first place, who never even cared about you, who simply viewed you as the bag. How you end up in a situation where you call people your friends and they set you up and you got to do time. People who rob and steal from you, but these were your people. How you ended up in a situation where you focus so much on somebody else that you forgot all about yourself and you let yourself go in every way. In every way. And these are going to be some tough lessons we're going to learn tonight, and we're going to talk about them. Why are we going to talk about them? Because they need to be talked about. 10 ways to recover from losing everything over your bad choices. Y'all give me a quick second, man. I think I done jack something up here. Hold up. Maybe not. Give me a quick second here, man. I thought I had, hold up. I think I done changed the title on the Ray joint too. Hold up. I couldn't have. I know I ain't do that. That's not what I did, is it? Okay, we good. We're good. We're good. All right. Now, let's cover a couple of things now. First of all, you must understand that you were never taught what happiness is. No one ever told you what happiness is. That's why you thought being with as many people as you could be, being intimate with as many women as you could, that's why you thought that was happiness. Because no one ever told you what happiness was. That's why you thought making money and spending almost all your money on frivolous things, on jewelry and clothes and cars and shoes and all these crazy things. That's why you thought that was happiness. That's why you thought going out on a Friday night, getting absolutely inebriated to the point where you don't even know how you made it home. Or you wake up with somebody you don't even remember going home with. Or worse, they in your house and you don't even remember bringing them to your house. That's why you thought that was happiness. Because no one ever told you what happiness was. You know why? Because you never grew up around happy people. You never grew up around happy people. Most of us have no definition of what happiness is. We don't know what it is. If you don't know what happiness is, you certainly don't know what peace is. Happiness comes way before peace of mind. If you don't know what happiness is, you've never found peace of mind. So the fact that you have attempted to find happiness in people, find happiness in things, find happiness in stuff, find happiness in activities, find happiness in everything except understanding who you are. See, you got to be honest with yourself about who you are, and we'll take a deeper dive into that later. No one owes you any help finding your happiness. No one owes you that. Everyone has the right to selfishly seek their own happiness. No one owes you anything. But when you start to rely on people to help you find happiness, You find out your life is filled with disappointment because you wake up one day and realize that you spent 5 years, 10 years, sometime, God forbid, 20 years dedicating yourself to people, places, and things that were never going to amount to much for you. Another thing you got to understand, no one deserves to define your happiness. You got people telling you how to find their happiness. Well, that's their happiness. You're not the same as them. Let me tell y'all, brother, something right now. There's no one you know whose life you can look at and think that, and really, truly, honestly think that having their life is going to make you happy. We're such individuals that, like, no one can tell you that. Listen, man, I know guys right now who are making $50,000 a year and they are living their best life. They own their crib, they own their cars. They don't really have no bills. Household bills, they don't have no bills, man. They ain't got no credit cards. They don't have bills. See, the problem is you've been told that in order to be happy, you need to make a certain amount of money, but that's if you caught up in buying all the stuff. If you cool with not having all the stuff, let me tell you something right now. Yes, when people don't have joy and happiness, and they're around other people who don't have joy and happiness, everybody needs stuff that money can buy. Everybody needs stuff that money can buy. You need it, I need it, they need it. Everybody at that point needs stuff that money can buy. But if you have joy and you have peace, people want to come around you. They ain't even thinking about money because everybody understands how valuable peace is once you see somebody with it. When you see somebody with peace, when you finally grow up and you see somebody with peace in their lives, that's what you start to pursue. I'm not saying you can't have money and peace at the same time, but I'm saying for some people, the peace is enough. You have to understand what kind of person you are. You live your whole life trying to do things that other people say will make you happy or things that will make other people happy, and then you never even come up with the How can you find happiness if you don't even have a definition of what it is? Another thing is this. Many of us are pursuing things that aren't even meant for us. There are people with multiple degrees in fields and careers that they absolutely detest. But it's too late now, right? You've invested all this time, effort, and energy into this thing. It's too late now. This is what you have. You can't be equipped to enjoy and appreciate life if you're living the wrong life. When you live in the wrong life, everything goes wrong. When you live in the wrong life, you get the wrong wife, you get the wrong rights, you get the wrong flight, you get the wrong house, you get the wrong car. Man, listen, bro, you do everything wrong. Simply because you don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you don't know what brings you joy. You don't know what brings you peace. And so you make bad decisions. Now, if you don't know who you are, then you're going to get a woman that's not meant for you. You're going to buy things that aren't meant for you. Sometimes these things are meant for you. Hey, man, if you like flashy cars and you like jewelry and you like, fancy clothes and you want to buy $2,000 shoes, cut the bottom red on them, that's on you. I could go grab some red bottoms. I'm not paying that much for a shoe because it got a red bottom on it. I'm just not doing it. It's not for me. But if it is for you, you got to know that it's for you. You can't be doing it because the Joneses are doing it. You keeping up with the Joneses, man. You keeping up with the Smiths. You keeping up with the Lockharts, the Harrises, the Jacksons, the Johnsons. You keeping up with all those people doing things that aren't even meant for you, things that you don't even enjoy. You get to the point where you enjoy the praise you get from people. Let me tell y'all something right now. If your greatest source of happiness is the praise you get from people, you are absolutely miserable inside. You are absolutely miserable inside. If that's your biggest source of joy and inspiration, if that's what you seek every day, if that's the thing that floats your boat, then you have serious issues. See, the problem is with most of us, the simple things in life are taken for granted. So we rather see a woman with a BBL and a bunch of makeup on and a bunch of weave on and a bunch of all of this because the simple things are taken for granted. The simple things, like a woman who doesn't have any makeup on and her skin is absolutely flawless. Her skin is so flawless, it looks like she might have some light makeup on, but she ain't got nothing on. Nothing. The simple things in life are taken for granted so much that you see all of these. Listen, man, you got people spending $250,000, $300,000 on vehicles that don't even give you a factory 75,000 mile factory warranty. $300,000, $400,000 on a car, man. You can't even get a 75,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty on it. Then you can turn right around and you got people that's sitting on multiple millions. I'm talking about tens of millions. And they driving a Kia Telluride. Or they driving a Honda Accord or a Honda Pilot. Got 4, 5 cars. Everybody in the house got a car, and all of them Hondas. I want you to think about it. Everybody in the house got a car. You got 5 Hondas out there, but you got a 5-car garage. Everybody got a garage spot. The simple things in life are free, are very inexpensive by comparison to everything else. Very simple by comparison, but very inexpensive by comparison to everything else. Now, maybe the simple things aren't for you. I'm not telling you you're wrong if the simple things aren't for you, but I'm saying if the simple things are for you and you out here living some crazy life, man, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You get lost in the struggle to meet society's norms. Society's norms and expectations lead you all over the place. You flip-flopping every year because you know we live in a social media age right now where everything moves so fast, where everything changes, not even annually anymore. Everything almost changes quarterly. Everything changes seasonally now. Every time the season changed, everything changes. And you living your life jumping through hoops, man. Listen, man, I'm not jumping through hoops on nothing at all. I'm old school, Jack. We just had a cold day a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, we had a cold day. I'm talking about, it was Sunday. Had a cold day. You know what I did, man? I put on my red Tims. Brand new red Tims. I've been had them in the box in the closet for 2 years. Just never got around to wearing them. I like my blue Tims. You know, I like my buckwheat Tims. I like my black Tims. You know, I like my chocolate Tims. And I like my blue Tim with the white bottom on it. Like I like my other Tim. I just hadn't worn them. But something in me said, man, you know what? Break out the red Tims. And I just wore the red Tims. Why? Because I just wanted to. My point is, I just wake up every day and I do what I want to do. Like I do what brings me joy. And I want you men to get to that point. I do what brings me joy. If you get to the point of doing what brings you joy every day down to the letter, man, you will have a phenomenal life. You will find peace of mind. Your life will blow your mind every single day. I'm telling you, man, it will blow your mind every single day. I already got a fishing day carved out for this week. The crappie, man, the crappie, they coming in. They almost sitting in there spawning for show. But they coming in, man. Listen, bro, I'm about to go out there. And get them. It don't matter if I don't get one bite. You know what I'm finna do? I'm finna be outside, man, relaxing and just enjoy nature. You never know. I might see a pelican, man. I might see a cormorant. You know what I'm saying? I might see. Hell, I saw a bird I ain't never seen before just the other day. I've never seen. I didn't even know the bird existed. But I live a simple life in most ways because I don't need a lot. But when I travel, I'm always gonna fly first class. Whenever I travel, I'm always flying first class. I'm always, gonna have the very best accommodations available. That's what I like to do. That's when I like to level up. When I travel, I level up. But just being home every day, man, I don't, for what? For what? I'm not finna live no baller life. You know what? Man, listen, I don't even deal with women who think about the baller life. Like, I don't deal with that because I met too many of them, and I know what their real financial situation be behind closed doors. I know what it be. It don't be what you think it is. So for me, that ain't even my type. My type is simple. Simple. And I'm telling you, bro, that's just me though. I'm using myself as an example because I'm the best example I know. Another thing, man, you got to stop wishful thinking and fantasizing. You got to stop believing that something's going to happen that's not going to happen. You got to stop believing that you're going to get something you didn't work for. You got to stop believing that something's going to fall in your lap. You got to stop believing you're going to win the lottery. You got to stop believing you're going to hit the mega jackpot or something at the casino. You got to stop believing that. You got to understand that when you look around you, everybody who has the life they want, they worked for it. Nobody you know personally has the life they want and they work for it and didn't work for it. Nobody does. So you got to stop wishful thinking and fantasizing. You got to stop believing that a woman who does not fit into your life is suddenly going to start fitting because you put her in it. You got to stop believing that. You got to stop believing that if someone lives this lifestyle that they're going to get with you and they're going to stop intentionally and they're going to be happy to stop. No, you don't want somebody who's going to change for you. You want somebody who already has the characteristic that you're looking for. Too much wishful thinking and fantasizing. That's what got you in the position you in. You thought that she was going to be different for you. But she ain't never did it before. You thought that she was going to be Susie Homemaker for you. But she never been Susie Homemaker before. You thought that she was going to slow down and stop going out with her friends in the club and drinking wine every day for you. But she ain't never stopped doing that before. You thought your one partner who was super cutthroat, he wasn't gonna never cut your throat, will never stab you in the back. Come on, man, you got to be realistic. Stop living in the fantasy world. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, man. You watch too much Trick Box. The Trick Box. That's what we call the TV. We call it the Trick Box. You know what? You know what we call it the Trick Box? Because they can show you something that ain't even real. You know it ain't real. You know it's actors. You know it's a script. You know it's a director yelling action and cut, but you're still getting your emotions about something. It can trigger you into happiness. It can trigger you into sadness. It can trigger you into anger. It can trigger you into fear. It can trigger you into worry. It can trigger you into all types of things, man. It's the Trick Box. It can trick you into feeling something that you ain't supposed to feel because what you watching ain't even real. You watching too much Trick Box. Even when we talk about, hey man, listen, we know that this platform, it's the new Trick Box. You got to be careful about what you consume. You got to be careful about what information you take in. You got to be careful about what information you put out. You got to be careful about what music, what energies you take in. You got to be careful about that because if you don't, you'll be caught up in a life that's not for you. And I promise you, if you're not focused on the life that's meant for you, if you're not focused on the person you want to be, if you're not focused on the person you're intended to be, you're going to make decisions that are going to affect your life in a negative manner. You're going to make purely detrimental decisions. All of your choices are going to be negative, and they're going to affect you negatively, and they're going to have negative consequences and repercussions. And that's just not the life we need to have. You got to be a leader of yourself. You got to be a leader of yourself. Here's the thing, man. If you're not living a certain way, you don't have the right to tell other people to live that way. I don't care about that. Do as I say, not as I do. Nope, I'm gonna do as you do. Matter of fact, you only need to say as you do. The problem is, too many people want to say what they don't do. They want to talk about it, but they don't want to be about it. And you got to understand that the first form of governance is governing yourself. The first form of control is self-control. The first form of guidance is self-guidance. The first form of mastery is self-mastery. You understand? The first form of understanding is self-understanding. The first form of respect is self-respect. The first form of value is self-value. The first form of worth is self-worth. You got to understand who you are so you can value yourself in the proper ways, so you won't invite those energies into your life. So you won't invite those people into your life because you don't even feel like you deserve better. The problem is most of the negative things you invite into your life, most of the negative people you invite into your life, you don't think you deserve better. You think you should just accept that. You believe that's the best you can do. It's crazy out here, man. Don't make a bit of sense, man. Heedy the trucker. Salute to the trucker homie, man. What's up, OG? Just got a relationship. Just got out of a relationship. Compromised my morals. Women view me as the bad, and I overvalue her. Never again. I learn as I go. Self first, man. That's one of the most valuable lessons you ever learned, man. Listen, brothers, and I want you to understand this. It's okay to accept the fact that a woman is going to view you for your ability to provide. Because we're going to view her for her ability to be a helpmeet and to be some eye candy for us that we like. But the telltale sign that a woman views you as the bag is she never has any input into increasing the bag. She never does any work. She never contributes any new information that can benefit the bag. She views the bag as something for her to put her hand in and take stuff out of. She don't view the bag as something for her to contribute to. That's the telltale sign. If she's not contributing to the bag, she views you as the bag. Delrico Buller, salute, brother. Salute, brother. Appreciate the dime, man. Appreciate the dime. Jay Evans, salute, salute. Appreciate the dime. All praise to the Most High from repping that H-Town, man. Salute, salute. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. See you Uncommon in the building. Monique Watt, I see you in the building. Appreciate you joining us. Appreciate you joining us. Roy T, what's good, man? What's good? What's good? I see you, man. I saw the homie. DJ Fresh, salute. DJ Fresh say, man, you and Teflon got dope chemistry, man. Salute, salute, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I be telling people, man, Tef kind of Tef, my man is fresh, man. He's my man is fresh, man. I mean, I got a couple cooking, man, that I ain't even let y'all hear a sample of yet, man. Man, listen, boy, we got a few in the chamber, fresh. We got a few in the chamber, man. So let's get back into this thing, man. And the last thing I want to say about this, man, is about the things you need to understand about yourself before we get into the main topic about how you recover. One of the main problems is you have no relationship with God. You dig what I'm saying? You have no relationship with God, so no internal validation, which leads to peace of mind. If you don't have internal validation, and internal validation only comes from enhancing your spirit, man. And enhancing your spirit, man, only takes place when you have a strong connection with the Most High. Otherwise, you just around here living a life, man. You around here, you got a bunch of things. And I'm telling you, bro, you can have plenty of money, but still not have peace of mind. You can have plenty of fame, but still not have peace of mind. Peace of mind is the goal. Peace of mind is how you have money and fame, but don't have stress, and you live to be 100 years old with the money and fame. That's what it is. And the final thing that you didn't have was realistic goal setting. And by realistic goal setting, now I don't always mean that you got to temper your goals and not have them so lofty. No, I mean, sometimes you temper them too much and you don't set lofty enough goals. Sometimes you limit yourself by not setting your goals high enough, by not setting your focus high enough. That's something you can't do either. You understand what I'm saying? That's just as bad. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. So let's take a dive on into this thing, man. We about to get to it now. We about to get to it now. We about to get to it now, homie. Is that what we about to do? We about to get to it now. Again, man, I appreciate everybody being in the joint. I appreciate all the support, man, that y'all give the platforms, man. I really do. It's a wonderful thing, man, to have a close knit family of guys, man, and we got some girls coming in too, man, who just want to be the best version of themselves, man. Y'all give me a quick minute. just want to be the best version of themselves, man. That's all we want to do. We just want to be the best version of ourselves. Nothing else. That's all we want. We just want to be the best version of ourselves, homies. That's all we want to do, man. All right, so let's get into this thing. It's gonna get tough now, man. It's gonna get tough. Famo, salute. It's gonna get tough now. It's gonna get tough. First thing you have to do, you have to accept that you were stupid and forgive yourself for being stupid. See, those decisions you made, they were dumb decisions. You have to be willing to look at yourself in the mirror and say, not that you're dumb or that you're stupid, but you made dumb decisions. You made stupid decisions. And here's why I call them that. Because deep down inside, you knew they weren't the best decision. Let me tell you something. Put a one in the chat right now. If you'd have had somebody take advantage of you and you never knew it. If you had somebody treat you bad and you didn't even know they were treating you bad. Put a one in the chat right now if somebody was treating you bad and you didn't even know you was getting treated badly. You got to accept the fact that you knew that person was doing you dirty. You got to accept the fact you knew those people weren't holding you down. You got to accept the fact that you knew that job was going to pass you over for the old promotion. You knew they ain't respect the work, the value that you brought to that job, to that company. You know that. Everything that happened to you, you knew it. Nobody was taking advantage of you and you didn't know it. Come on, man. If you still telling yourself, well, they were taking advantage of me, I didn't know it. I thought they loved me. Man, listen. Let's be realistic. Even the guys who have a divorce coming their way and they say they didn't even know it was coming. You knew it was coming. You didn't want to accept the signs. You didn't want to accept the warning sign. You didn't want to look at the red flags. You got plenty of warnings that it was on the way. Tell me this. If you're in a situation and there is no intimacy in your marriage, don't you know it's headed to the end? That's the telltale sign. So when guys say, man, in marriage about, after the first year, after the first 2 years, man, intimacy be gone. The marriage is over at that point. You're just hanging around in it just to be in it. You know when that job passed you over for a promotion and gave it to somebody who was less qualified, you know what that means. You the one stayed around, man, and wait for the next promotion, you get passed over on that one too. How you stay at a job long enough to get passed over for 3 promotions? 3 promotions. Come on, man. How you stay in a relationship long enough to get cheated on 3 times? It doesn't make sense. So you got to accept the fact that you made stupid decisions. You made dumb decisions. You made foolish choices. And you stayed in situations that didn't benefit you too long. You got to accept the fact that you didn't love yourself. That's why you were willing to accept that off brand of love that was treating you badly. That's why you were willing to accept that off brand of respect that was treating you badly. That's why you were willing to accept that off brand of appreciation that was treating you badly, because you didn't love yourself, respect yourself, or appreciate yourself. You got to accept the fact that you didn't love yourself enough to demand what you deserve. I tell you all the time, you deserve what you accept, but you also deserve what you demand. But if you don't demand anything, then you will be left to receive what you accept. There's only 2 kind of results in the world. That's the result you demand and the result you accept. If you're 300 pounds right now, you accepted the result in your life. You accepted the result. If you'd have blown through every dollar you ever had right now and you sitting up looking crazy, hey man, you accepted the result. You accepted a result in your life. And you got to own that. It's time out to be pointing the finger at who did what and who said what and who didn't like you and who set you up and who, man, it's time out for that. When you're an adult, you have to look at the decisions of your life. You have to be stern and you have to be forceful when you make your decision in your life, because you have to always remember to do one thing: make the decision that's best for you. Not 99% of the time, not 99.9% of the time, 100% of the time. Every time you have to make decisions the best for you. Because here's the thing, man. You have to fully invest in the idea that you won't make stupid decisions anymore, that you won't make dumb decisions anymore, that you won't allow yourself to be in a situation where you know somebody means you no good anymore, that you won't allow people to get close to you when they show you even from a distance that they're not trustworthy, that they're not worthy of being in your presence. You can't do that. You have to wake up and you have to fully invest. I'm not talking about some of the time. I'm not talking about most of the time. I'm talking about all of the time. You have to fully invest in the idea that you will not be a sucker to yourself no more, that you will not be cruel to yourself, that you will not be useless to yourself, that you will not let other people use you to help them use you. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do it. You got to take over your life, man. You got to step up right now today and say, man, the buck stops here. This ain't happening in my life no more. I'm taking over my life. Take over your life, man. Take over your life. If you can't take over your life, scale down to the point where you can take over. Because in order for you to build a life you want, you got to scale that thing all the way down to the point where you can take over. That's why most people who have success, they can tell you about a story where they grinded from rags to riches. Why? Because you got to go to the bottom. That way, when you lay the first brick yourself and you lay every subsequent brick after that, you can say, I built this my way. And you can enjoy it because you built it your way. You know where listen, if you want a phenomenal modern bathroom and I build you a house with an outhouse on it, that's not the house you wanted. But you know what? If you built your own house, then you know you'd have the modern bathroom that you want. And you wouldn't have to be going outside using the outhouse. You have to value yourself so much that you wouldn't dare compromise your own well-being for someone else. No one, I mean no one on earth. As a man, you just can't do it. You can't do it. It's never going to pan out for you. You got to start looking at your life in past tense and present tense. If it happened in the past, stop living your life like it happened today. If you made a decision 10 years ago, why are you sitting here letting that decision still whoop on your head like this? Why are you letting this decision have you upset like this? Have you driving? Man, come on, man. You drove right now, man. You letting this decision drive you like this, man. You listen, you did it. You got the result from it. Pick yourself up, man, and get it together. The past is indeed the past. Are there consequences, repercussions from the past? Yes, but that don't mean you can't move forward. The consequences, repercussions from the past, they're gonna be there. Here's the thing that you got to understand. You don't get a do-over when you make bad decisions. If you go to level 5 in life and you make a series of bad decisions that put you back at level 2, it's gonna be harder to get to level 5 this time. Because you got the consequences, repercussions from no bad decisions that knock you back down in the first place. You got the disappointment from allowing yourself, boy, it's disappointing as hell to be up here and fall back down here. You can't get over that disappointment. That disappointment is going to be there. Even when you get back to level 5, you're going to be like, man, if I had just stayed level 5, I'd probably be at level 9 right now. So that's why you got to make sure you got to start guarding yourself against bad decisions, bro, because they will affect your life. They will affect your life. I promise you, man, they will affect your life and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to master the decision-making process. Don't worry about recovering from it. That's why we're talking about 10 ways to recover from messing up your life now, because you didn't master the decision-making process. You have to master the decision-making process. Here's the 3 things you need to understand about the decision-making process. First of all, You need to truly understand what the consequences of your decisions are. That's why you take time and think before you make a decision, because you need to know the consequence. You need to know the risk. You need to know everything about the decision before you make it. You need to make sure, as far as you can tell, that this decision benefits you more than it does everyone else. Now, it might be equal. It might benefit someone as much, but you never make a decision intentionally that's going to benefit someone else more than it's going to benefit you. You just don't do it. You can't afford to do your life that way. You understand? You just can't afford to live your life that way. That's how mistakes are made. That's how bad choices are made. That's how bad decisions are made when you're doing things that might benefit somebody else more. Because if it's going to benefit them more, you don't know how much of a detriment it's going to be to you. You don't know how bad it's going to be. It might only raise them up one level, but it might sink you 3 levels. So you just have to do that. And the third thing you got to remember about decision-making process is just make it. When you arrive at that decision that's going to be best for you, man, just make the decision. Because I'm going to tell you, if you sit down and think long enough, you can think your way out of a decision. You can come up with the best plan for you ever, the best choice you could ever make. And if you sit there long enough without making that decision, without etching it in stone, you'll talk yourself out of it. You got to be decisive when it comes to making decisions that benefit your life, man. The same way you was decisive when you made those decisions that didn't benefit your life. Look how decisive you were when you end up with that woman, man, and everybody around you were telling her, man, she ain't no good. She ain't no good for you, dog. Your grandma told you, your mama told you, your brother told you, your cousin told you, man, he used to be with her. You still was with her. That y'all just wrong. Y'all don't know her. Y'all just piling up on her. Y'all don't even give her a chance. When they telling you, dog, you shouldn't give her a chance. But there you go, doing your thing. You got to remember the times where you went very hard in the opposite direction. So why you can't go that hard in making the proper decisions for yourself? Help me understand that. That's a bad habit. You have to get over your bad. Brothers, let me tell y'all something right now, man. And don't nobody put this in the chat in there, man, but I want you to be honest, bro. If you got bad habits, I'm talking about bad habits. Bad habits. You know what I'm saying? You know what bad habits are. If you constantly inebriated, you understand? I mean, you smoking cancer sticks. Any of these bad habits. You got bad hygiene habits. You got bad money habits. You're a gambler or a bettor or you know, or whatever you want to do, or you're constantly making the riskiest investments you can make in the stock market and you lose all the time. Man, you got to understand, if you got bad habits, you know that you have bad habits. And if you need help for your bad habits, go get help for your bad habits. But everything that you want to do, the decisions you made before that sunk your life, they came from lack of discipline. You weren't disciplined enough to do what you need to do for yourself. You got talked into doing something that benefited somebody else. You got talked into. Let me tell y'all something, man. You know how many guys out here will meet a woman who has nothing, and this guy has something, and he'll take her from the gutter and move her right in with him and convince himself that he's doing a noble thing. And sometimes not even convince himself he's doing a noble thing. No, it's not the right thing. Hates even doing it, knowing it's not what he wants, but still does it anyway. It's lack of discipline. So let me tell y'all something. Discipline is easy when there's nothing testing you. Everybody got discipline when they're just sitting at home. Are you the most disciplined person in the world just sitting at home? But when you get out here in the world and those temptations and those things, those opportunities to do those things that you don't want to do or you know you shouldn't be doing, those temptations, man, let me tell you something. That's where discipline comes in. You can't call yourself a disciplined man if your discipline is never tested. Sometimes you got to test your own discipline. I don't go long without testing my discipline, man. Your discipline is like a muscle. Boy, you got to work it. You got to work out. You got to work your discipline out, man. You can't just let it sit over there. Your discipline gonna get fat and out of shape, man. You gotta use that discipline like a muscle, boy. You gotta be ready to exert some discipline. You gotta be ready to bench press some discipline. You gotta be ready to squat some discipline. You gotta be ready to deadlift some discipline. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do some pull-ups and dips discipline. You gotta be ready for it, man. You know the bad habits that got you to this point. And you gotta look at yourself and say, man, do I still have these habits? And if you do, I'm gonna tell you like this, man, don't go get no help. Don't go get no help. Man up. Man up. Stop being weak. Stop being soft. Man up. Tell me what you can't do. You gotta know, man. Let me tell you something right now. I remember I told somebody once, man, they lived in Vegas, and man, they was on them casinos, man. They was on them casinos, and they win a little. They win sometime, but they win and always just lose it all. You know what I told them? Move your ass out of Vegas. You need to find somewhere that has no casinos. Man, I feel like I'm running, man. Yeah, you are running. You need to run. When you are overcome by something, when you are overtaken by something, man, let me tell you something. You got two choices in a war that you're losing. You can wave the white flag and live to fight another day. You can flee and live to fight another day, or you can stay there, man, and just go on, let it be the end, let it be your last day. You have to be willing to understand who you are. You have to be willing to understand when something that's overtaken you. You have to be willing to understand your weaknesses. You have to be willing to understand everything about yourself. You understand? You got to be willing to understand that. It's kind of like, especially in the South, people in the South, man, they go and they eat themselves into all type of sickness and ailments, man. And then when they get to the doctor say, look, you got to stop doing this right now. They be like, okay, doc. They'll stop for a week or so, man. Then they right back on it. They can't even stop doing the thing that got them in the position they're in right now, no matter how bad the position is. You have to understand that if you're in a bad position, stop doing the things that got you in that position. What are you doing? You got to know and accept that recovery of any kind takes effort, energy, and most importantly, it's going to take a lot of time. See, I want y'all to understand, man. You got to change your life and start recovering that thing as quick as possible. Because if you spent 10 years going the wrong path, it may take you 10 to just get back to square one where you're supposed to be. See, I want you to understand there's levels. Wherever you start going left at, when you start going left, however long you going left, I want you to think about this. Think about this. If I'm going to Texas, Texas for me is west. You understand? Few hours put me right in Dallas. But if I go east, let's say if I'm going west 4 hours. If I'm going west 4 hours, that's just 4 hours. But if I go east 4 hours first, in order for me to make it back to my destination, now it's going to take me 8 hours. You just got to accept the fact that you made those decisions. That's the greatest consequence of making bad decisions and bad choices that sink your life, that ruin your life, that set you back. You got to burn the time that it takes to get back to where you were before you start going left. You don't get to just, I'm going to turn my life around so I get to skip. No. It's like, man, it's like people who run up credit card debt. You run up serious credit card debt. Listen, it don't really even matter how much money you make, because when you run up credit card debt, it's a sign that no matter how much money you make, you still are a bad money manager. So You could be making eight. Let's say you make eight. You can be making 8 bands a month, 9 bands a month, 9 bands a month. I think that's what 108. Yeah, that's 108 a year. That puts you at them 6 figures. But if you got $40,000 credit card debt, that means that it don't matter how much money you making, you still burning through your credit cards. $40,000 worth of credit card debt for somebody that even making that kind of money, it may take you 3 to 5 years to bail yourself out of that credit card debt. So those decisions, that discipline, that self-control is the only thing that keeps you from going down that rabbit hole. You got to have it. You got to have that discipline. You got to have that self-control, man. If you don't have it, then you put yourself in a bad situation. So I say this to you. Know and accept that recovery of any kind takes time, effort, and energy. But the most important thing it's going to take is time. It's going to take time. It may take, it may take, this thing may take less energy. That thing may take less effort, but they all gonna take the equal amount of time. Time is time, brothers. Time is time. You can't do a 45-minute workout in 35 minutes. 45 minutes is 45 minutes. Time is time. I'm telling you. So the first thing you have to do, one of the things you have to do, you have to revoke people's access to you if you're emotionally attached to them or if they're attached to your past. That's why we always talk about separation is elevation, because if you want to elevate from the position you are, whatever position that is, you let yourself get in. The first thing you have to do, if you have to cut off ties, you have to cut ties and access to the people that are tied to those things, the people that remind you of those things, the people that take you back to those things, the people that bring those things around you, the people that always want to talk about those things. This is what you have to do, man. You got to revoke people's access to you. And you got to revoke your access to them too. Ain't nothing like, man, somebody who cut somebody off, man, and then call them back. You to cut them off, but you call them back. You cut them off, but you try to link back with them. Man, that don't make sense. When you cut people off, you cut them off, man. Your cutoff game has to be phenomenal, because you're cutting people off. You get that practice. That's the first form of practice to show you that you can cut people and things off. If you can't cut people off, man, who mean you're no good, you're never going to recover your life. You're never going to recover your life. And here's the thing, brothers. Yes, it's going to seem like a lonely existence for a minute. It's going to seem like a lonely existence for some time. It's going to seem like a lonely existence, but the bottom line is it only seems that way because you're separating from everyone that you know, but you're moving forward and you're going to come into a higher quality of people. Not everybody that you know is going to be cut out, but a bunch of them are. They're going to have to be. So when you cut those people off, then you have to remember you have to mend those beneficial relationships that you ruined when you were going down the wrong path. See, what you got to understand, when you're going down the path of self-destruction, you are destructive. Like you are destroying everything. Self-destruction is self-destruction. If you're being self-destructive, you're destroying everything. You're destroying yourself financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, socially. You're destroying all your relationships. You're destroying all your ties. You're destroying all your business connections. You're destroying everything. That's why you got to make sure that you're not in a self-destructive mode. You got to be in a mode where you're trying to build your life. You got to be in that mode. You got to be in a mode, man, where when you meet people, man, if they don't contribute to your life, bro, listen, I can't do anything with a woman who doesn't contribute to my life, a woman who doesn't contribute to the upkeep of my kingdom, a woman who don't contribute to the process of my progress. I can't do nothing with her. All I can do is have fun. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is play. I can't stay. She certainly can't stay. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to compartmentalize. And if you don't have this, that's another form of discipline. If you don't have the discipline to compartmentalize her in that way, leave her alone. That's why I tell you, man, for me, honestly, it don't even make sense to be dealing with Scalloway. It don't make sense for me to deal with a woman who's now on a level where she can contribute positively to my life, because I'm not going to value her if she can't. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to value her if she can't. So as you mending those beneficial relationships you ruin, man, you got to remember this. The focus is not pleasure. The focus is joy. Joy and pleasure are two different things. Joy is a pleasure. Pleasure can be had without joy. You can be miserable, man. Listen, man. You can be so inebriated, man. You about to pass out. You can still get some pleasure. Like pleasure is a simple thing. You understand? Pleasure is so simple, man. You can give it to yourself. But joy, peace of mind, those are the things we focusing on, man. Those are the things we have to focus on. We can't focus on nothing else. We can't focus on nothing else. Life, listen, man, life is not long. Life ain't long. Listen, we already halfway through March 2024 now. Life is not long. Like you don't have time to waste making bad decisions, making bad choices, making the same decisions that got you in the situation you're in now. Like suddenly they're going to be good decisions. Bad decisions are always going to be bad decisions. Good decisions are always going to be good decisions. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You are your habits. The only way to change who you are is to change what you do. It's the only way. You are a result of the things you do. You want to get in shape? That means you're not in shape. But you are a result of the things you do. Don't, man, listen, even when it comes to that, I tell you like this, man, it don't even matter. Don't even have no set goal or nothing. Don't do nothing. Just change your habits. Incorporate good habits into your life. It's a good habit to work out regularly. It's a good habit. It's a good habit to cut things out of your diet that just don't benefit you. You don't even have to worry about nothing. Just cut things out of your diet that don't benefit you. Cut things out of your life that don't benefit you. You have to do it. And here's a big one. You have to only surround yourself with people who are on the same path. People who are on the path to make the best out of their life, to make the best version of their life, to be the best version of themselves, to create the life that they want, to create the life, not the life that they dreamt of, the life that they envision themselves having. You have to be focused on that. And the only way to focus on that all the time is to only have people around you who focus on the same thing. Because here's the thing, people who are focused on that type of elevation, all they talk about is things that tend to that elevation. They're going to talk about it. You're going to talk about it. It's always going to be talk about elevation. Boy, let me tell you something. There's nothing like always having talk about elevation, bro. There's no greater motivation in the world, man, than to constantly be around people who talk about motivation, talk about the tactics and principles and precepts of motivation, of building, of grinding and growing. And I'll say this to y'all, man. You got to treat your life like it's a movie. You got to write your script, learn your lines, and then be the superstar in the cinematic thrill that is your life. You the one yelling, lights, camera, action, and cut. But in between those actions and cuts, you the one that got to show out on the screen. You the one that got to prove every time you say a line, you the star of this movie. Because you are. You're the star of this movie. Remember that. Your life is your movie. You're the star of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the director says. It doesn't matter what the cameraman says. It doesn't matter what the producer says. It doesn't matter. You are the talent. The movie of your life doesn't work without you in it. So pride yourself like that. Have your butt on the set on time every day. Learn your lines. Don't ever have to pick up no paper. Know your lines, know your grind, know your time so you can shine, brothers. Do that for yourself. Bakish Edwards. Appreciate the dub. Appreciate the dub. Pesci Boomin. Appreciate the fireball. Good brother. Good word. God bless. Salute to you, Pesci. Good to see you, man. Stephen Clark. Salute to you, GLG representative. Appreciate the dime. When you realize the true potential of yourself, you begin to respect yourself better, and the world recognizes and respects you as well. Thanks for helping us be more self-aware. Bless up, brethren. Man, that's real. You know what? When you start to respect yourself, people understand, okay, here's a person who respects himself. So I know in order to be around him, I'm going to have to respect him too. See, when you respect yourself, people know that you're nothing to play with. They know that they got to show up. They know that. Bobby J, Baby J, my bad. Baby J. No, that's Bobby J. Appreciate the dime. Appreciate the dime. Jay Even, welcome to the family. Welcome to the GLG. And that, my friends, is how you get to 10 ways to recover from losing everything over your bad choices. Brandon Sample, appreciate the dub. Appreciate the dub. So, and I also, man, I want y'all to understand this. It's okay, man, to make bad decisions, because a lot of times you weren't taught how to make good decisions. You weren't taught what the good decisions were because you weren't even taught about what you need to focus on. You weren't taught about focusing on joy. You were taught about focusing on getting a good job. You were taught about focusing on being able to, get a good job and get a family and buy the house with the white picket fence and do. You were taught the American dream. But maybe that ain't what you want. Maybe you want to just grind and then die a lonely, rich old man. Whatever you want, you have to be confident enough that it's the right thing and not let people talk you out of what you want for your life. That's the main thing. You let people talk you out of what you want for your life. You've been dealing with this woman for 3 years, and now you know you don't want to wife her up, but the people putting pressure on her about when you gonna marry her. Now she putting pressure on you about when you gonna marry her, and now you talking about, will you marry me? Come on, man. Don't do that to yourself. Remember, you the star of this movie, not her. Every day I wake up, man, let me tell you something. The BOA movie, the King Ray Ray show, boy, I am the star of this. The High Altitude show, my life every day is the High Altitude show. My life every day is the King Ray Ray show. I'm the star of both of those shows. Nobody gets to come on my set and be the star. It's my life. And my life is my wife. And to my wife, my lovely life, who is my wife, I say, I love you, baby, my pretty little baby. There's nothing you can do to keep me away from you. And that's real talk, brothers. That's the realest talk I can give you, man. Realest talk I could ever give you. So let's get ready to slide out of here, man. I appreciate y'all being the joint. I ain't gonna keep y'all in here too long tonight, man. I appreciate it. Got some dope content coming for y'all tomorrow, man. King Ray Ray, we banging. We back in the building. King Ray Ray will be back again tomorrow, man, with another dope piece of content. You know we are. You know we're doing it. You know we gonna grind. You know we gonna shine, homies. So let's slide out of here, man. And I think we'll slide out of here to this, man. You know what? I give y'all a verse and the hook of this, man, on the way out, man. Verse and the hook of this. Peace.